Emotional Projector, and I talk about human design on my channel. Today I'm talking about the gate 6, the gate of conflict or the gate of friction. And I want to start out by saying that I personally have this gate, so it'll be easy for me to talk about. I have it through my emotional authority. And so this gate is a very emotional gate. Oftentimes I think people see the conflict or gate of friction and they think like, oh my god, that must be terrible. But really what it's saying here is that this is really a gate about intimacy. Okay, so let me give you an example. If I were to be intimate with someone because in the moment of being spontaneous or being in that not self, I thought, oh great, like this is gonna be perfect, and like, oh my god, like I really care about this person, and immediately afterwards I'm gonna feel this sense of like, yikes, this was not right, this was definitely an incorrect decision. It's almost like a flip of the switch where you just immediately have clarity that that was not the correct thing to do. I've noticed times in my life where I just knew something, like, I just knew that it wasn't right to move that quickly with someone. So if you do have this gate, it's really about being patient with intimacy, because it's not necessarily about this gate being like a sexual gate. It's not like seductive in that sense. It's about the fact that this gate really penetrates like this need for intimacy and the right kind of emotional intimacy. In intimacy now, I mean, it's so much more than just a sexual act. It's from a physical touch of any kind. So gate 6, physical contact, is where this emotion is released. So like if you have this built up emotion about someone, or like after an emotional wave or whatever your authority is, if you have this gate, there's going to be almost this pent up feeling, and it's going to be released through that physical touch. And that could just be holding someone's hand or cuddling or whatever. It's not just about it. Like, this intimacy is more about the contact or physical contact with another person. And if you have this gate, it can tell you a lot about how you can kind of read other people, or why physical contact with another person that you first meet is very important, because it can tell you a lot about that person and about how you guys are going to be in whatever relationship or dynamic you're in. We often are particularly attracted to those that are different than us. That can be a theme of this gate. However, this can lead to deep conditioning, so please be aware of that. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing to have that, but what it means is that just to be mindful that do not give up your principles or the things that you need to feel secure in whether something's right for you, because the other person is different and doesn't need that. The last thing I want to say is that I think the biggest thing with like this gate being about conflict or about friction is that if you have clarity, emotional clarity, that's basically the whole key here of the gate, emotional clarity. Like, again and again, you could just say, if you have gate 6, get emotional clarity. Because when you have emotional clarity, you will be there, support and love those bonds that you have and those connections that you have, and be ride or die for them. The most important thing about having this gate is realizing who's important to you, what those principles are to be important, and if you do have that intimacy, to wait and make sure it's right. If that intimacy is right, then the other person will wait for that too. That's the beauty about human design, is that no gate or no part of the chart is ever this sometimes I just think people, you can hear these words or the way people talk about it, and they don't see that there's so much beauty underlined in it, even though it can seem like, oh, I don't want this, or I don't want this part of my gate. In reality, even the not self aspects are literally just teaching us how to find the best way to live our lives, how to find and connect with the correct people, and how to live a life full of clarity. I mean, that's the most beautiful thing that I can think of. Again, I always say in my videos though that you are more than your chart, and so please, when you are listening to any video about gates or about human design, to remember that it's your personal experience that matters more than anything, and nobody can tell you your truth other than you. So always remember to look internally and to take yourself and give yourself time to figure out what that means for you, because you have everything that you need already within you. All right, love you guys. Bye.